Good time everyone, welcome at the Summary Club. Today we will tell you about the 20 most dangerous places in the world for travel and tourism. The faces of the earth both delight and frighten with their diversity. From the highest mountain peaks to the deepest ocean depressions, from islands lost in distant seas to vast and immense plains, from deserts that preserve the mysteries of extinct civilizations to impenetrable jungles where no man has set foot. The richness of fauna and flora strikes the imagination, arouses a desire to learn more, to touch this miracle of creation. But we should not forget the dangers that lie in wait for travelers as they try to unravel the mysteries of the earth. There are many places on our planet that unprepared people, and prepared people too, should not get into. About such places, dangerous, mysterious and inexplicably attractive, we will talk. Lake Kivu. In the top 20 most dangerous places in the world for travel and tourism, we included Lake Kivu first. It is lost among the mountain peaks in the East African Rift Valley. The lake was first discovered by the German traveler and explorer of Kilimanjaro, Gustav Adolf von Goetzen. One can imagine his admiration from the view of the azure water surface, sandy beaches and islets scattered throughout the lake, of which there are more than 150. The most famous of them, Ijwi, is included in the list of the largest islands in the world in fresh water. The 2,700 square kilometer lake is surrounded by several national parks and nature reserves, such as Virunga and Nyingma. While Virunga's fauna has been almost entirely exterminated by local wars, ethnic clashes and poachers, the vast Nyungwa forest preserves populations of rare monkey species, such as chimpanzees and the Angolan colobus. 2 million people live around the lake, enjoy the view of the majestic mountains, admire the gentle waves, and bask in the thermal springs. Tourists relax year-round on the sandy beaches of Kivu, stroll in the bustling street markets, learn about traditional cuisine, and observe the active volcano Nyiragongo and the Katuro volcano, which woke up in 1948. But what is wrong with it, and why is it one of the top 20 most dangerous places on Earth? Yes, usually lakes are not expected to be dangerous. But not in the case of Lake Kivu, located on the line of a tectonic rift in the Earth's crust. Its depths contain a time bomb. At the bottom of the Kivu, which is 10 to 12 million years old, carbon dioxide from the Earth's interior accumulates, and bacteria living in the water column convert it to methane. An earthquake or volcanic eruption can trigger an incredible methane explosion at any moment. In this case, all life within a radius of a few kilometers would be destroyed. A similar thing had already happened in 1948 during the Katuro volcanic eruption. Part of the dangerous gas deposits was released, and the lake water boiled over. The entire living and plant life of Lake Kivu was boiled alive. Scientists can't even guess when the gas will break out again, maybe in 1,000 years, maybe tomorrow. Queimada Grande Island, another place that could be called one of the most dangerous on the globe, is the island of Queimada Grande, or Snake Island. It is located in the Atlantic Ocean, 35 kilometers from Brazil. About 10,000 to 12,000 years ago, the island was united with the mainland by a narrow isthmus, but the rising ocean level cut it off from the rest of the land. It would seem to be a heavenly place, mild climate, tropical forests, boundless ocean. But tourists are not allowed to enter here. The fact is that the island is literally overrun by snakes. A small piece of land of 43 hectares is home to about 5,000 of the most insidious reptiles on Earth. It is neither possible nor safe to count them exactly. Some species are not found anywhere else in the world. One of the most dangerous venomous snakes is the inhabitant of Queimada Grande, the island bothrops. This venomous snake of the viper family reaches only 1 meter in length and lives on the branches of trees or bushes. But its venom is 5 times stronger than that of its mainland counterparts. Once in the body of the victim, it completely paralyzes it and causes tissue necrosis. Bitten rodents or birds disintegrate before their eyes in intolerable agony. Death occurs within 2 to 3 seconds. Naturally, the island is shrouded in many legends. In 1909, a lighthouse was built on Queimada Grande, where the caretaker and his family lived. The story goes that snakes crept into his house at night and people ran out into the street in a panic, where they were attacked by hundreds of poisonous inhabitants of the island. No one escaped. And when the lighthouse stopped working, the military arrived. They saw a gruesome picture of the ranger and his family, completely bitten by snakes, and the lighthouse, which had become a refuge for these reptiles. The lighthouse, by the way, has since become automated. Other rumors are of a dead fisherman fishing near the shores of Queimada Grande. He had docked at the island to rest and eat fruit. A sudden attack thwarted his plans. The fisherman was able to reach the boat, but never made it home. The Botrup's venom had acted earlier. How much truth there is in these legends is unlikely to ever be known. The Brazilian authorities officially forbid tourists to visit the island. The only visitors are scientists with special permission to visit, film crews, and the military to maintain the lighthouse. Even the most adventurous extreme tourists, sailing in boats with local guides to the shores of the island, do not go on land. I hope you won't go there to test your fate and the venom of the local overly aggressive snakes. Tornado Alley is one of the top 20 most dangerous places on the planet. You have to be brave to take a romantic stroll down this alley, as about 100 tornadoes pass through here every year. The natural elements are especially active during the spring. So, where is this extremely dangerous place for tourists? Remember the Wizard of Oz and the girl Dorothy, whose house was caught in a whirlwind and carried away into the fairy tale? That's right, in her homeland. Tornado Alley is an area between the Rocky Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains. More often than not, a succession of tornadoes passes through North Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Iowa, and Mississippi. Tornadoes are natural disasters that are caused by strong wind currents. The air in these streams spirals, which leads to the formation of the epicenter of the future tornado. The speed inside the tornado can reach 1,000 kilometers per hour. And with the same force, inside it can spin cars, trees, everything it has sucked into itself. A tornado can exist from 10 minutes to 7 hours or more and cause millions of dollars of destruction. One of the most famous is the Mattoon tornado, which passed through Illinois and Indiana. It set an existence record of 7 hours and 20 minutes. The tornado destroyed thousands of homes over 500 kilometers and caused over 100 deaths. April 1965 was remembered for an epidemic of deadly whirlwinds. 37 major tornadoes roamed Tornado Alley, killing 270 people, injuring 5,000, and causing $300 million in damage. The record-breaking year for the number of tornadoes was 2011. More than 1,700 whirlwinds. Although the mesmerizing spectacle of the wind vortex attracts many thrill seekers, we do not recommend visiting Tornado Alley, especially during the dangerous spring season. Amazon. Another worthy place in the top 20 dangerous places on the planet is the Amazon, the longest, widest, and fastest river on the planet. The Amazon is amazing with its rich and varied aquatic world. There are up to 3,000 species of fish. Among them, the most famous are the piranhas. These aquatic predators are called the curse of the Amazon. They are feared by all the inhabitants of the jungle. Piranhas are small silver-blue colored fish about 30 centimeters long. But the appetite of these fish inspires horror in local residents. The sharp teeth of these predators devour their prey in the blink of an eye. A pack of piranhas can devour a cow in 3 minutes. Some of them won't mind snacking on humans if they smell blood. The black caiman is undoubtedly the dark knight of the Amazon. These alligators can grow up to 6 meters in length. Its powerful body is covered by scaly armor of gray, green or brown color. And it looks out from under the bony crests over its eyes. The black caiman is a skilled and cunning hunter. Sneaking underwater, he grabs his prey and smothers it in his mighty jaws. The predator doesn't shy away from any catch: fish, otters, deer. He is not shy about attacking jaguars and other caimans. If we called the caiman the dark knight of the Amazon, the anaconda is the queen. The reptile can be up to 6 meters long and weigh up to 250 kilograms. Anacondas live in shallow waters and feed on birds, mammals, and other reptiles. Victims of giant snakes, trapped in rings of gray-green body, die of suffocation. Swimming in the Amazon is a brave or reckless ride. Be warned. And we continue. In the ranking of the most dangerous places on the planet, we also note the Bermuda Triangle in the Sargasso Sea of the Atlantic Ocean. Its second name is the Devil's Sea. The area of the Bermuda Triangle is 1 million square kilometers, but there is speculation that it is much larger. The tops of this triangle are Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico. The anomalous phenomenon in the Sargasso Sea was first described by Christopher Columbus. His ship's journal says about huge tongues of flame, a strange glow of the sea, and unusual behavior of the compass needle in the area. But the Devil's Sea was called a world sensation in the 20th century. In the waters of the Bermuda Triangle, according to various sources, about 100 ships and planes have gone missing. Some of them are presented below. The most puzzling case is the disappearance of the 5 Avenger bombers. A seaplane sent in search of the bombers did not return. The crew of the French ship Rosalie, found near the Bahamian capital of Nassau, is missing in its entirety. The British Atalanta disappeared with 290 officers and cadets in 1880. The sailing yacht Osprey failed to make contact in 1909 and left behind only mystery and speculation. The 19,600-ton cargo ship Cyclops failed to reach Baltimore in 1918. The Cyclops, equipped with a radio transmitter, disappeared without sending an SOS signal. There are many theories that try to explain the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. The most fantastic ones suggest the existence of time portals where all navigational instruments fail. Hypotheses about the sunken Atlantis off the coast of Cuba raise many unanswered questions. Also, the phenomenon of the Devil's Sea is explained by shenanigans of alien beings. Still, scientists believe that Bermuda is a very difficult stretch of ocean to navigate. Shoals, cyclones, storms, and stray waves, which reach heights of more than 30 meters, leave little chance of escape. That's probably why you should stay away from such a dangerous place to travel. Choose ways to get around. Death Valley, a national park in the Mojave Desert in California, lives up to its name. That's why we've included it in the top 20 most dangerous places in the world for travel and tourism. Even the most intrepid travelers would not venture here in the summer months. Heat, winds, tiny grains of sand in the air and lifeless landscapes. It was here in 1913 that the highest temperature in the Western Hemisphere was recorded at 57 degrees Celsius. Although normally the air in Death Valley warms to 46 degrees during the day, it's a little cooler at night at 31 degrees. It's hell, even for those who like it hotter. The valley got its name when settlers from Europe decided to take a shortcut across the desert to blooming California. They could not even make it to the middle of the Mojave Basin. Almost all of them died of the stifling heat and dehydration. The surviving travelers named the hottest place on Earth, Death Valley. The valley's history is linked to the gold rush that gripped the United States in the mid-19th century. Treasure hunters had blazed a route through the desert to the coveted Klondike. Few took the deadly road through the Mojave. They were left behind with screaming names: Last Chance Ridge, Funeral Ridge, Rattlesnake Gorge. A deep basin called the Wicked Waters is the lowest point in the Western Hemisphere, 87 meters below sea level. In the basin of the Wicked Waters accumulates a liquid, which is a salt solution. The Devil's Golf Course, an ancient lake with cosmic scenery and sharp crystals of salt mud, will not leave any adventurer indifferent. The mystery of the sliding rocks of Racetrack Playa Lake has not been solved by scientists to this day. Ordinary rocks behave very unusually in Death Valley. They travel slowly along the bottom of the lake, leaving sinuous trails behind them. The ghost town of Rhyolite, a settlement of former miners, has long been abandoned by its inhabitants. And only from the beer house, built of real bottles, according to local legends, the sounds of an orchestra from another world can be heard. If you decide as a tourist to explore this dangerous tourist destination, travel in an off-road vehicle with rugged tires and stock up on water to escape the heat and sweltering heat. The mystery of the Dyatlov Pass, where 9 people died horribly, has not yet been solved. For 60 years, one of the most terrible and tragic events of the 20th century has been classified as top secret. However, this does not prevent journalists, researchers, and simply fans of mysteries to search for an answer to the question: what could destroy a group of young and experienced tourists on Mount Hua? This unsolved mystery allows Dyatlov Pass to be included in the rating of the most dangerous places on the planet. In translation from the language of the Mansi people, who inhabited the Ural Mountains from ancient times, the name of the mountain means dead peak. According to local legends, the mountain is considered a source of dark power. The souls of the dead tried to escape on its peak. On February 22, they formed search parties of friends, volunteers, local residents, and military personnel. 3 days later, the tent of the missing group was found. Personal belongings and documents were untouched. Further searches revealed to the rescuers a terrible picture: half-dressed corpses, covered with snow, with a strange color of skin, from yellow-red to brown. What happened to Igor Dyatlov's group is one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century. There are many hypotheses, from paranormal, mystical, and spy-related to spontaneous, natural, and insulting. There is a memorial plaque on the place where Igor Dyatlov's group died, as a warning to those who want to go through the pass and conquer the dead peak. Pripyat, the ghost town of Pripyat, is included in the UNESCO World Heritage List as a monument to the most dangerous man-made disaster of mankind. Pripyat is 94 kilometers from Kiev and 3 kilometers from the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. In the ranking of the most dangerous places on the planet for travel and tourism, Pripyat with its level of radiation takes an honorable place. On the terrible night of April 26, 1986, a huge radioactive cloud covered the sky over Pripyat. Nearly 50,000 people lived in the city at the time. People were evacuated only the next morning. Precious time was lost. Pripyat's residents received the strongest radiation exposure, which led to dangerous diseases and fatalities. In just 5 years, about 165,000 people were removed from the area contaminated by radiation. The picture city, once shown to foreigners as the standard of living for the Soviet man, has become a silent ghost, staring out lifeless streets with empty eye-holes of windows. Only looters, fearing neither hell nor God, took everything of value out of the city. Despite the decontamination work, according to scientists, it will take a full century to repopulate the area. The total release of radioactive substances was 380 million curies, 100 times more than it was in 1945, when the nuclear bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But the forests of the exclusion zone are already teeming with life. And it's not radioactive zombies and three-headed bears. When people left, hares, wild boars, bobcats, wolves, and foxes returned. In the years since the disaster, wildlife has gradually taken over the city on the border of the living and the dead. What was created by human hands is being destroyed, and flora and fauna are taking over. It is now possible to get to the exclusion zone in Chernobyl on an official tour, although until recently only the most desperate tourists wandered here, risking to be caught by border guards or simply die from radiation. Shark Beach on the coast of South Africa's Cape Town deservedly belongs to one of the most dangerous places in the world for travel, tourism and recreation. The most cold-blooded and dangerous predators of the Atlantic Ocean are encountered here with enviable regularity. According to statistics, over the past half-century in Cape Town, there have been about 300 shark attacks on humans. Many tourists simply do not read the warnings, so rescuers do not often, but collect bloody limbs all along the coast. The white shark reaches a length of 6 meters and sometimes weighs up to 3 tons. Their teeth are arranged in 3 rows, and the number of teeth can exceed 300. Sharp as a scalpel, their fangs grip their prey and grind up anything that cannot be swallowed whole. And in recent years, attacks on people have become more frequent. The people themselves have provoked it. There is still a tradition of burying the dead in the waters of the ocean and skinning the animals on the shore. Besides, one of the main attractions in Cape Town is the descent under the water in a huge iron cage. The bait is fresh blood. Angry and hungry predators, not having received prey, remain extremely annoyed and angry. There have been 23 fatalities in South Africa since this attraction was introduced in 1992, more than in the entire last century. So I hope you won't risk your life for a few questionable selfies with a shark. The Trail of Death is the name of the road along the steep vertical cliffs near the city of Xi'an in China. It is considered the most dangerous hiking trail in the world. In the ranking of dangerous places on the globe, sometimes even walking is dangerous. Every year, 1,000 brave people climb it to Huishan Mountain, one of the 5 sacred sites of Taoism. The mountain has 5 lotus petal-shaped peaks. The highest peak, South Peak, reaches 2,160 meters. The ascent begins with a heavenly staircase disappearing into the clouds. People, like shadows, disappear into the sky, climbing hundreds of steps. But this is only the beginning. For the next part of the trail, you have to walk on thin planks anchored to steep slopes and hold on to chains screwed into the rocks. No rails or railings, just sky, wind, and adrenaline. It is conquered by daredevils who dream of proving their own fearlessness. It was for them that massive iron chains were attached to the slopes of the mountain, and the locals climbed the Taoist temple for a long time simply on planks. The ascent to Huishan is 14 kilometers. The travel time is 8 to 10 hours. In ancient times it was called the most precipitous mountain in the Middle Kingdom. There are no official statistics for deaths on the trail. We can only guess how many have been swallowed up by the bottomless abyss. It is said that 100 people per year die. According to local belief, the mountain favors the brave and is merciless to the coward. But I hope you won't be one of the golden 100 who died here next year. And even if you get the chance, think, as they say, 1,000 times before you go on a tour here with your girlfriend or boyfriend, much less your child or parents. Well, that's the end of the story for today. And in the next part we will continue the top 20 most dangerous and not recommended for visiting by people places of our beautiful but quite dangerous planet. And friend, don't forget to subscribe to the Summary Club for becoming more successful, educated, kinder and wiser every day. Save hundreds of hours and dollars spending on boring regular education. Feel free to write your opinions and questions about each video. We read all the comments. In addition, go to our official website where you can find reading materials or watch other videos on channel and links in the description. All the best.